This is a continuation of Unexplainable Nights. The following is a true story viewed in the perspective of my personal friend. We asked him to record any events that is not usual, since he stated this has become a regular thing. If you are wondering why there is a different narrator, we will be switching off every other part, since we all need a break sometime. Without further ado, let's begin. As I lied down next to my girlfriend, perplexed of what happened the other night, I decided to look a couple things up. Anything to help me figure out what was going on. The things I saw on the internet could only be described as hell on earth, from demons talking to children, to spirits that children made up so they wouldn't feel alone. I had to stop. Any more of this would make me want to leave my job. But if I did, what would I tell everyone? They wouldn't believe me. Or worse, they would believe I had gone crazy. As I drove to work, occasionally glancing at the sky, I told myself that nothing crazy is going on, and that I need to put an end to this little ghost story. As I pulled up, I saw one of the female staff having a cigarette. I approached her, asking her how she was doing. She informed me that she had a bad feeling about tonight. I looked at her and smiled, assuring her that nothing is wrong and that everything will be okay. I told her that I was going to do all my checks twice and spend most of my time on the main level. She looked at me with a smile and replied, "Thank you. I feel a little better." As the night went on, the staff and I played games with all the children, even watched some fun movies. 11:30 p.m. came around, and I told all the children that it was time for bed, and that I will be doing my checkups at 12 a.m. sharp. They all replied with funny faces and asked me if everything was going to be alright. I replied with, "Yes, nothing is going on, and we will have a great and peaceful night." Unfortunately, once midnight rolled around, I would soon learn that I was wrong. I heard what could only be described as the sound of someone down in the basement coming up the stairs. I walked as fast as I could to the basement door, and as I got to the door, I heard a loud thump from the kitchen. I ran as fast as I could over to where I heard the sound, only to find nothing. As I walked back to the main area, all three boys were asking what that noise was. I said it was probably next door, and someone probably dropped something. I got a call from next door from some overnight staff asking if everything was okay. The staff had also heard something, and when I asked them what they heard, they told me it sounded like someone running to the garage. I assured them it was me, and I thought I heard something too, and I was going to check on it. At first, I told myself it was nothing, and it was my mind racing, playing tricks on me. But then, why would anyone else hear it? As the night continued, I looked over the boys as much as possible. I even sat on the main floor with a chair against the door so I could see all three boys at once. My mind started to drift off after sitting for more than 4 hours. I decided to go outside for some fresh air. I sat there thinking to myself, what are those children hearing? What are they seeing? And why is it that I can hear random things too? I tried to stay calm when all of a sudden a sensor went off down in the basement. At this one moment, I had no other reason to not believe that there was something down there. As I went to open the door, I heard a cry out behind me. It was one of the boys. He looked at me and told me not to open the door. He was starting to feel sick and scared. I looked at him, then looked at the door. I had a gut feeling telling me not to open this door, and whatever is down there will be face to face with me. I looked back at him and asked him what exactly is going on. Why won't you help me understand what you are feeling? He told me he didn't know, and that he only knows that it is downstairs. I walked away from the door only to hear a small sound that sounded like a small gust of wind. As I walked back to him, I grabbed him by both the shoulders and told him that no matter what, you need to stay in your room. He agreed with me and did so. I went to the door with nothing but bad thoughts running through my mind. I opened the door and I looked down, and all I could see was darkness. I walked to the main office to sit down and figure things out. As I looked up at the cameras, I see one camera flickering a lot. This made me feel uneasy. As I stared at it for 10 minutes, I saw one of the boys from upstairs get up and look around. I walked back up to him, and he told me that he thought I woke him up. He said I saw someone by my door waiting for me. It was at this moment that the realization came to mind. This thing in which I could not explain now has a shape and a form. Thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard, hit that like button and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment of what you think of our friend's work experience. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.